a solar natural clinic so ebu echido me pa chowa yade nei obi benya wa yade intimisro bibi kakra bi dodo wa to amerika kwaji apomuden mapa ewo solar natural clinic na so mutimi anhwe ye eye bia sekidi honsam liver honsam ana awo honsam ne nei akwa atwe ama wa ne nyina akwa so mehwe amandu panom na watimi enya bani bia to na so na so so adore ne nyina ba na se bebo chidom na akoyi ade ama intimisro modern so beko yade bia ha no enfant na fie na mko solar natural clinic na se a doctor fu anim de a doctor fu se ade penaya krado so mesho ya ba no so bebre na no enom be kana so ho atom san so mfidi a bebi a yare na suma bia no ebetimi a kire se yade ne wa ha yade we na ye no na se ntempo motimi amondu nti frɛ omo awo 0553 932631 0553 932631 na se eye solar natural clinic empayinfo mbo na so honto saso na gentle step mother care me pacho akwada na ba no ho wabre na akwada na ba no entoto akwada na si o modern sa akwada woni be kɔ no ho obe dress ne kama obe hwe ne ye nduanim ne se bia na enu nti na mekanfo gentle step mother care ade ama se kɔ na se Sprinters Road honom ho ba nkwada nuoma mpaboa ntade supporter traces ne nyina obenya bi ato ewo gentle step mother care nkwada nuoma je se bebre na different ne boss ada form sa so na bania man kwada didi agora eno so ne nyina no benya bi say bicycles and tricycles ne nyina ebi ho me pa chop baby seat and say baby walker obenya bi ato ho baby diapers na efe dia nkwada no say ebedi baby food ne nyina so ho a say okọ gentle step mother care obenya bi ato niema ne bo form timisro se wati suku a se nkwada ntotofewa na oji omo ehwoma wo se unya toys nkwada ne be dia agoro na etimi aboa na suku no sabata no de nkwara misa akwada no wode ne ba suku no osusu a se ye be san suku no enti kona koto ne ma pay begu a na nkwara no enfendi agoro me pa cho omo Sprinters Road omo be eye Pogas furniture saso no ne Absa Bank no edi anhwenti mesro tu Amerika kɔ na kopani o papa ni binato na na po fremo na dia hwe nyina no mbo no du apene so tuaka na wafa edekɔ from our 0243238477 0244238477 from no mbo 7 ese nyoma papa no nyina so no onsa beka be nwumaku awuduro bi ka ho biripam no amo nsam nyina so no yade betu dwa ede amamo
akenkanfo eyeme akra Kofi Dako mene
akuya Grantema
efe ensam no mu nchiremu ankasa enen yabeko oman Ghana yan remushen jinabia eye kotoka remushen jinabia wo enkranmantema esanse His Majesty King Ngwanyama Nswati autosu ebiesa aw ofi Eswati manno emuno yenemu Erica say no osi oba be promo yema emu na on government officials ena bedikan enya enkitahudi ewo omanga na yan wiem shanjina bia honom se ne ebeye wode no ebedi ni ababa nkakra edino abekwa akopom ewo omampanyin atnai na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama odino enya nkitahudi ene ewiabre na yen amane boni a de biara da to yen krafre omampanyin atnai eya wisdom head ojeme ojina eya kotoka wiemshan jina bia mprempre wizi mimo akwaba ohine popolo wabedu omanga na na se onyamedru ye
time look at the akabe simabe edunu by 20 minutes time obeka shut down the Kotoka International Airport now we have government delegations on the receiving the Chief of Staff Honorable Julius Debra and receiving and he's there with the Deputy Chief of Staff as well as the Presidential Advisor Madam Jesba Muktari Bebatanso and Works and Housing Minister would also be here and other government officials Omeji King Mwemanya the head of Eswatini say Obabetina Obedi 4 days or Ghana no me say Oba no pay a no be team or airport and no mo no acquire the presidency of money His Excellency John Dramani Mahama but general also now in which we 2 days or in kind because with that no Obishia the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat no now the African delegation also no Obishia and sana ordinary actually mu ewo Asante mu Kumase now akwakochia otu for the next 4 days no there Meswati the state of Eswatini the king or no ever be or Ghana for the next 4 days. No, we need to be there. So all is set for his arrival or the Jubilee Lounge from the Kotoka International Airport.
Wisdom head of my fancy or hill proper bedrew and then some of Becano and I define on Sabremo Kasiebo Emonona Yadia Brayang TFO and a young Asher for wisdom head of my young Amanebono to Grafio Mampenat and the Entua Kaseboniso. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, not your friend, Aquama China, Numekua, one more or Memusa, one sister one ad, woman consider say, obey me Abebu, a one manufacturing plant, a horo, our young Mamon, Sene Bayer, and Copa said the Biaradano, Yabecrania Murphy, China Magnumu. Na yedi aba omayimu osisade no encheda emweyi kra na eba ne sansusu a eyade se emagwedi a eda omangana ne China intem no sa gab na beda ho no wo ebue wo factories no mum ewo ho no ma ewo ha ebetumi aboa ewo sa okwan no eso eyi eye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama edi atugwa na ya dise ninsem awon atwere egun krata so no won akokenkan edi amano no nipa kosi nanan ekokon aye chief of staff Owura Julius Debra ewo Ghana China Business Summit erikoso won Kramantama eye afede eno na His Excellency John Dramani Mahama chemse ebanisa ebetumi aboye papa na Ghana nso ye benya gina biabi na yenyesi na bua magwedi husem so etumi akwanenim.
What the president has in mind is that we want to encourage as many Chinese manufacturers as possible to possibly consider having assembly plants or having new entities established in Ghana. That way, you're solving the distance problem all the way from China to the market. You get closer to the market where you also be permitted to export to the entire West African zone. There are varied areas where investment opportunities will be encouraged, from petrochemicals to housing, automobile, EVs, tourism.
Chief of Staff Owura Julius Debra.
Yantu asona yanku enimu enko ensem froma na esemeka se no Ghana kasamafo ewo mbrahye bedwefie Owura Abbas mana babwen ade atudwa na wachirem se Ghana mano eda soa ejina nanso aye committee so behwe na Ghana obi antieti obi fa ahudie so titiru na se eye mba ene nkwado obi bia fa ahudie o setimi hwe na ye bo ho ban ye na timi boa openye ade sansem tudwa ombra ba sonko a efi eye Interparliamentary Union se di animu ebo man Ghana ma omune mbrahye bedwafo nkita hudi na efe dwumedi ahodo nso no ombedi ade aboa na no ese penyimpa ese odi animu eye senior program officer emma governance Owura eye Akiyo Maguel Afoda ese edi omonim eba ne nyina no eye ade ese omo gbo anan ma ese Ghana obi entieti obi fa hudi nsem so ewo oman Ghana mu na no eno chirem se sawhwe na ese Ghana sadia da yeye no enya de ese mbre bi wa na ese nhye bi po ewo ho a ese kamia ese ye gina no so edi ka obi hye se bi ade opeso ye anase sum bi owom ni ade no ye be ma no kwan masa dwumade no entimi enkoso na nsema se kasamafo Owura eye Babin edi tudwa no moma yentie bi.
Parliament's commitment to the promotion and protection of human rights within the context of the UPR mechanism. Our role as a parliament in the promotion and protection of human rights is very, very crucial. We are one of the most effective instruments to use to implement human rights. We have included and enacted the Affirmative Action Gender Equity Bill, and this was assented to by the President on the 11th September 2024. The abolition of the death penalty by Parliament by the passage of the Criminal Offences Amendment Bill 2022. Again, we enacted in 2023 the Criminal Offences Amendment number 2 Bill, which deals with witchcraft. That we had some challenge. His Excellency the President did not assent to that. We are going to do that now. All this will be done this year. Then we established the Committee on Human Rights.
na we ayan sama jese owura aban baben ade tudwa se Ghana yegu yehia so bills bebre ho ana se ne nom de omsa hyase na babaya mbre se no aboa magana fa hudin sam no etimi ekoyie ade emayen
na presby asafono opanyin sofopanyin oda won ano ne bronika ne se moderator right reverend Dr. Abraham Nana opare kwache ano de ofre akwa ma se boko nsensem no mpanyimfo hwe se wobetoto niama na enya asumdwei a ebeba ho no mo afibo ochim se sad way a erikoso no de oha papa ama mpuntunyuma enhye dan koso ye ewo boko ene ne potemti osra ban ene fe bambo nyuma kuno ne obi biara okabia ye no obi bia mfa na no ntumu bi se ne beye ye benya asumdwei ewo boko ene ne potem so for panyin din samitu gwabra nipa bia won apa won na won ahye won atare foforo abo se wo mo beye asofo wo omaimu na wodi ejuma no ewo bema camp ewo nkranha eno din samitu gwa wo ho.
I've had meetings, several meetings with the leadership of the region, the Regional Security Council, RECSEC. We have had some meetings with some very significant people, and we have been assured. But indeed, this is not the first time we have been assured. And you see, you have a school where children come from all over the country to study, and suddenly they are in trouble. Recently, I think that was somewhere last week, the president gave an order that military people should give company to all people who travel the Bawku road. It tells you that the problem has not been solved. We need to nip the problem in the bud. We need to deal with it at its roots. If you're able to deal with it at its roots, then we'll stop these cosmetic ideas of children going to school and they go back to the school a few weeks after they have to go back. The last time, you remember that the Presbyterian Nursing Training College, they were going to school when gunshots were fired into the bus. Now, next time, how do I ask children, young people, to go back to the same school? It's my school. I cannot assure them of security. My own security, I can't be sure. So it's a problem. But I'm confident that if our national leaders, the police, the army, and everybody, and even the traditional leaders of the two ethnic groups will sit down and work together.
A moderator, Dima Presby Asafono, leading the Right Reverend Dr. Abraham Nana Kwache Opare.
Yantuaso na yembohwi enko ensem from na se kane president Ghana Bar Association ade nsem bi atodwa akasa ade atia nanu ne ye bia ekoso ewo oman Ghana mum na opanyi akirem se Ghana mbra hye bedwafo ene aloyafo bi omunum mra nomnum kwan se nyuma nkoye wase ade faso na nso mayo madwen se omde mbra ni nyina betu akire atietia so no maye dia ensem fata no akirem se ewose ehwe na kwan bi so etimi twoma so pa na ye futio ma foforo se dan kwama bi wonya kwan se mbra hye bedwani anase woye mmiranim ni a wonya dia wope o man Ghana mum papa ya kasa kirem se nanu ye je se mbra hye bedwafo binom titiri owura afanyoma akene ne dom ebomodi asimu pampampa iko yoko ade eche so mko tena fam nkokorafo panimu mbra eko tena fam yo mu fi ewo ho no o se je entwaye sabi eyanim guase eyade bia wo se Ghana nyina kasa ditia nampo asotwe bi wo ho a yade emomom no de sansem nyina tudwa ewo asante mantemu wo kwame nkroma asuapom wo mbra na se eye 20th law union student no se dwumadi suronko ekoso tese ye da sa ko na di eho na sansem no odi ko tudwa nti o kirem se we die sabi ne omoye no ankoye kura sansem fata se mmiranim ne mmra hye bedwani ebedi sa adwuma no edi egu oman Ghana enim asenti anhwe na asotwe bi ewo ho a yemfa ma sampanyimfo na atimi ayensan so foro edi ame ebinso.
When lawyers walk into go to secure bail any place, what you do is that you engage the investigator, make sure that the person's statement and see whether it's going to be granted there or not. If not, you go to court. So the lawyers amongst them is my problem, because no lawyer goes to sit on the floor asking for bail. That is why I'm saying that for me as a bar leader, I expect every lawyer to maintain high standards, because you see, these images don't look good for us, that lawyers can now engage in theatrics. You get the point. If I walk into, say, I go to Central Police Station that I want to secure bail for a client, I'll talk to the investigator, maybe go up there to see the commander to see if I can get bail. But if you see me sitting on the floor of a place as a lawyer, so there are no lawyers amongst them, I can forgive them. But the minority leader and the others who are lawyers, I have a problem with them. And I'm not saying this thing because of any superior process or condescending. I just want a situation where lawyers must behave the way we are asked to behave as lawyers. We must be as ethical as possible everywhere we find ourselves. When you're a lawyer, you don't have to only suffer sanctions because you did something in the courtroom. You get the point. So whether you're a lawyer in politics, in public office, anything that you do, if what you do would amount to misconduct, should be disconduct. So the idea of 3 parliamentarians, and so there should be some form of punishment for that, because if it had happened in the courtroom, because I can just imagine if 2 lawyers started punching themselves in the courtroom, and the third one pulled maybe the clerk's table all over the place. Clearly, that lawyer would find himself on the GLC that same day. So I think that we should have a standard where lawyers, everywhere we are, whether in parliament, whether in politics, whether in things, should always make sure that we maintain the standards. The idea that lawyers should only suffer punishment only when we are doing what we call traditional law practice is so unfair. Because you see, the thing about those places is that the same lawyers brag that they are lawyers just as those in private practice would brag as a lawyer. So for me, I think that I still believe that lawyers who engage in any form of behavior that is wrong should suffer, whether they are as politicians, whether they are in public office, even whether they are chiefs, no matter what.
Now we ayora ya boafo no na mrebi atwom no president Emma Ghana Bar Association no chim say lawyer nia hunia osoko opebela sabi amfa to ntena fam na wanya bill na mumko court na koye ho adwuma no ena wo say eboa
Yabako ahamane so na yene opanyin a ono no hwe akire a ono omanfo edim kita ho edema National Identification Authority eye Owura William Ampoma Dallas Emmanuel akotwetwe nkomo say Divisional Executive Council de Public Service Workers Union won akirem say enede yara omo yejuma ewo NIF akache won atiwetua won nembre kupotinga wo besanga ba no mom yenim say omo se won allowance bi ene ne manema bi ena bang so e dia to gwase we fiase a already huduma enti dan na akoba nti a wo se won atiwetua yi oni ultimate me mo akwa ba na ne abai no ena efumu somo dan anamo bang na mo betu na se nimanim ya no sa strike yi wo besisa won adwene e wo ho.
All right, and that's many and share on what she is doing and our chef for yeah, well, we are okay, so basically, yeah, on course for now, many times answer photographer we empathize with the union leaders and our staff. ABC Sabri operational support allowance, authority known to me NTR and the full and my own. Now, Osha last year and Omone abang in agreement and I say Omudi Nkapa Femini na two Mose on the chair says abang the chair says na nema yenu ena omoji tu maybe kind say if it August bosome da no da be kind you could see December 31st last year 2024 National Identification Authority no inu so no anifika we generate no na on frontier sa allowance yi ena staff no but from January 2025 no a buying a budget for it. Now a buying extra from a buying physical and yet authority no physical movie. Say the said 2025 as you know authority no a budget for and you see a buying budget and the man may say institution behind and the budget ever. Na budget may be good near photography kind of say Hyperion na ministry no up to those figures and they are my minister na appropriation into the best of our knowledge yes, I demand and yes, authority win na ama question dia mahon or ministry prepare budget na ye sheni so just last week and I can letter to tell with this salaries commission I papa made Graham and that anono so on my year of the new so many in our area so much work that from our finance ministry we say and my controller and accountant general they go ahead no to mean allowances and my staff.
Okay.
Now there was a meeting between union leaders finance ministry and authority and I favor different salaries commission. Now when I met deputy minister should say a brown movie NIA F3 Office of Government Machine Budget so the core interior ministry that's 16 million cities now allocated for the payment of allowances museum free OGM Office of Government Machine Budget so it is only to me movie this mid-year budget review no more next OGM budget so the Ministry of Interior budget so there you can go ahead to pay allowances to your staff.
Okay.
The non-ankuye ama staff because on it actually if it's in January this is about 6 months. So you expect reaction or more at the Asia family. But no okay. We see another meeting with Services and Salaries Commission, Dr. Graham Lennon Corp. It was why said at least we have to show commitment to staff and they say out of their 6 months and so the share allowance to go about you to make sure 2 months I'm waiting for Ministry of Finance so the bill easy to come to OGM at the other ministry or not to that is what we are thinking about now. It is why we to improve NCMO and we are hoping that by close of day it will remain any solution to the problem. But mental capacity to do so. I mean, so email leaders they know according to I know two from January basis meetings on a year 20% allowance of their basic salaries that they can't want them. So clearly they know the management is with them. But it's unfortunate that you cannot you have prove it because you catch up only 20.5 budget anymore.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the ministry needs a common one to OGM, become. So we are calling union leaders, especially enormous now. Not the question, I'm not taking some call indefinite striking. Among signing ATM, or Brian on the Jumana Bob Pelea or Musicano or Mosameka.
Dallas yada CP sene waka ne nyina ma ye no yada se brepemono ne union no so anase adwumayfo di beba no enchiremu fufuo wa akira ya beba na ya beje ewo ho yada CP sai oni yen akasa yo eye Dallas Williams Ampoma Emmanuel or your pending or akire anase acting head corporate affairs edima National Identification Authority.
Na yantua so enko ensam from na say na Ghana Education Service and so adding some abetudwa na mo kirem say esa akyerɛkyerɛfo a endom kopem dompem we say Ghana Education Service ani mo say beya bosumi duni aban afom adwuma abentuo mo ka na no kora say de etwa mo awo kora say staff ID sere mo so we die nyame anim ni oya teacher ne kora je mapa no se no kora anya de se no so omunsa atimi aka na no na Ghana Education Service chiremu say en shada so egu akwama mo hwe say sa haw na ebai no on betimi aso anu animanim ya na etimi aboy say wo say mo ne Ministry of Finance ni ade nyina hyehyia say benese nkrata asam ni ade no ebekọ ye ade amom aninti no omo srepa say said ya niamai ka kono akyerɛkyerɛfo say ya form ye posti omo na so ye ntuomo ka na staff adi nso mu ni bi no so mo ntomo say benese ni nyina no ebetimi akoye ade amom na omo kyerem say wei aya akyerɛ achirachirafo ye form September 2024 mu na ye form so mechira de mbo Ghana Education Service na so bepumane no sedodo na sika emba ye se no so akoye den ade amontie no cabinet sendra sa aya pekete no ekoso ho na ne nyina achiri statement a Ghana Education Service ade abanom eno achi na se aya achirachirafo a omo so omo pekete omo bo chenku Ghana Education Service ani hono so no ene ya namusini Maswal Amankwa ekasa na nsema mu tu dwa no mama yentie nsem no ebi
stated on
na wei aya nsem no ya mmodien saka aya ene no na jese aya teacher fo ekopekete ye na se aya Maswal Amankwa eniom kokasa ye no ya ne ho nsem na ne nyina mo amkirem a na se we no so mo ntu sa na mo na ya ade se aya nioma bi enkoyie ewomu eniama bi enkoyie kura wo mesan se mo ya dwuma ebinim so mo high dan se wo se mo tuatu adan ka light bill wo se ni nyina no se timi aya yi na so ni nyina no enya de a omo nsa timi aka yanko ne ntie nsem no
yes, I do. I 10 months to 11 months. Now the ten say this year a big plan your mustard fight. I may be pay eba. And since a financial current say we are, I didn't know a big your mustard fight this year. I may be pay either aba. Near share Nina Kana, you're not so more any staff fight now. Almost best 600. And to say 600. I did question is a DNC and MI. Last seminar is near the Akuma Omonia Mayan. A hard being say out for the school. Now, maybe a school. Atwaso, college. Why we are service, nanny in Edgy. Obasa down was a Omoa, and so I was a time waiting up to a hard being pass. I was soon do a come young. I told a plan and a bidian eddy. This year, I'm be loans with interest. I get here. Because I never took an show because I only had to get the anya who can be as a Maui and Crumble who any Jew. If you move a big cat, a patent thing, and somebody will be up. If you more northern region, Tamale, if you move upper east, upper west, a patent answer, but you are a baby, you do got to a new a plan in Ponuana or Tradia. Obessinia, Afamoto. 20 cities, Ako, 20 cities, Abba. It's a day beyond 20 cities. 5 days, I say 100 cities. Times 10 months, 3 days a womb. Yakuba Bosia, our bank. Yadi loans. If you want to say your rent, I got 2 months now. So if you be a grass, your water bill, light bill.
Nice, we know an ensama achira phobia syndrome shase. Na ombo chenku Ghana Education Service akache na normal twaso no omoni reporter Maswal Amankwa Nkomo.
Ahaya TV XYZ any power 97.9 if radio XYZ 93.1 or promoter break Kasiebo na yentua so enko insemfufu emu. Gan Parliament stool jase and other disrade akwa ma Ministry of Chieftaincy and religious affairs say ahinzamu masutri a abeda ho ewo won tem and in National House of Chiefs no wasra wangara say abango omre mumfama won se ne be ya wabenya enkran ohene Bawku pe a obedi won anim e wo dwumadi biara wobedi wo friends am twafo nhwemu e na owura Theophilus Kingsley Quarty ejina empanyefo yi anan anode nsamitugwa.
The High Court Kumasi rightfully ordered accordingly after hearing all the parties and subsequently on 12 June 2025 the Court of Appeal unanimously affirmed the decision of the High Court and accordingly dismissed the appeal mounted by both National House of Chiefs and the interested party. Is the president of the National House of Chiefs, as the head referee of such institution, right to appeal to the Supreme Court? Is the decision to appeal a collective decision of the whole House or a body? We believe that the National House of Chiefs is made up of well-established lawyers and judges who believe in the rule of law and will stand up to be counted, and we graciously appeal to them for the withdrawal of the process from both the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. Finally, We appeal to the Ministry of Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs to intervene in order to uphold both justice and peace in the Ghana state. We call on the good people of the Ghana state to remain resolute, but become in these times of turmoil in our Ghana chieftaincy matters. A comprehensive press conference on the whole issue will be addressed soon.
Eyi ayowura Theophilus Kingsley Korte oye empenyemfo a wo mohwe nananom atankongwa won kramanta ma won insensem so no de nsemitu nsamtwerefo anim.
Yantuaso na yankwana ne Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Art and so ayedwumadie stronko kama e dia paw eye Panafest wontoma na dwumadie nyina no daachi hima abonetofa e de maye.
Empenifo asijinaye a wo hwe ni mu se ode Pan African Historical Theatre Festival ya wo twanitia efre Panafest and emancipation ebe hyeso ewo mai emo afi edie no na wei eya fasha emfie mienu bia no Ministry of Tourism and afi Ghana Tourism Authority ene penifo a wo ye Panafest hu dwumadie hu totoye eka wontuma ebomu ede hyeso ewo mai emo eya fasha ebokwan to honum ema abibrem amaman ahodo nyina eka wontuma ebakire wo man Ghana die mu na enam so emeye dan ya mamre ene ya mane ahodo adi ebiew yensra hwe bia ahodo nyina no edru sa bre no a eboa ema omanfo dodo no a etimi edi wonum ani edi akiri wosoafo ya wo hwe man Ghana ensa hwe bia ena afenso ya mamre eso wodmonyamfo difa gomashi wono ene gina simpie so epa odwumadie yi ehu entoma.
The combined celebration of Panafest and emancipation has evolved into more than a symbolic commemoration. It is an engine for national development that drives socio-economic growth in tangible ways such as tourism revenue and local economies. Each year, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the influx of diaspora and international visitors inject significant foreign exchange into the economy. Hotels, restaurants, transport operators, artisans, and tour guides all benefit from the vibrant tourism activities these events generate. I have the singular honor to declare the 2025 Panafest and Emancipation Celebration duly launched.
Enwachino openi kwantrofo awada Ghana Tourism Authority ano mami efuwa wajato editudwa ekire say
Ghana as the gateway to Africa continues to open its arms to the African family at home and abroad. That we continue to lead the charge in championing cultural restitution, identity reclamation and historical truth. In a world still grappling with the scars of slavery, colonization, and systematic inequality.
Nekrokramono, Executive Director Edema Panafest, Rabbi Kohan, Wanoso Echre Jumadieno, Sadianiso Esifatie.
So we will have Women's Day, and that'll be on the 31st of July, and the 31st of July will end in the evening with the compliments of now one of the biggest and most supported events that we have during the Panafest and Emancipation Day season, which is Reverential Night, where we will begin with a bonfire at the Emancipation Junction in Cape Coast. We'll have a candlelight procession throughout the commercial street of Cape Coast. We will land at the door of the Cape Coast Castle, Fort and Dungeon, where the Nananum will meet us, escort us into the castle, paying tribute in the dungeons.
Na dachi mama nyebo ena yati.
Miamfa sidan kwa manyumakui company bako se mika chiro so obema wajuma ya bosome wobetua 1500 Ghana cedis. Wangechira kwanga ewo hacho enti wani je ho se unim kwanga ya faso ya Congo anase ya bora stay bia mepacho bomoding afra 0246 473 271. Misa ka promo no yegusu ya jina won ya 920 bomoding fa phone no na dial *274# na so fa hu jemu bi na utwa de biarada mepacho utwa baako biara ɛyɛ 5 Ghana cedis na ubetime di best 50,000 Ghana cedis into fa hugem na bribia enkoso ye infama na TVXYZ yes bomoding na ton ho na obeya na nipacho ufo no bomoding na fa na frɛ yen ɛwɔ 053 382 5870 053 382 5870 na uniema no pese ubo ho daguro no ye ma na ye metwa bi mfama wei enye sika kasi biara na ye bejewo mega cash fu se minka choso betimi awe ne big enti onso wanga hihye boxes no 1 to 6 enti bomoding na fa phone no na dial star 426 star 5 hash star 426 star 5 hash na fa ho jemu bi na box no twusu ba ko biara ubetime di to the tune of best ne wo honi sika burbuja na ubedi eno so twa ba ko biara 5 Ghana cedis na yenam enele one characters platform ne so na ye di adwumade ere ebramo pato egori ne eredi ntu ye obi a unya 18 years a ori ntumi eni sa egori ebi na mamenkafo X natural mineral water infama eye papa ene mankasa mi boss ba kom David Tamaklu oba ozi akra mami X ni bi na meka kire onko Robert ehu ano ko yi dodo na de ma no na owura David Tamaklu di kwenti wankasa so bra dwuma mu ha ananso betimi akomeko mo biara mu akotubi akoton ne bonya de ewe nsu uton traffic mu ye beto esanse nsu ni ye kama lovely eti boboding na friend 0596273546 and 0596273547 X natural mineral water na simply natural maminko pebi na minum ye beba sisia na edisi kasem de gwedi amanebo abremo
Mido, they're not Biana. I'm going to be able to swim every time I say, baby, shit. Mangashi.
Junior! I'm saying so enough for maybe the no.
Sister Cospa, it's a winning gas.
I'm using the why. My why?
Down Yankanawa.
Sister Cos. Use gas. Gas ye fast, ye easy, ye convenient.
LPG, let me see your hand. Ooh, gas.
Every human body mass should have at least 60% water for optimal performance in any physical or mental exercise. We can help you maintain it naturally. Natural mineral water. Simply natural. For bulk purchase, call 0596 273 546 or 0596 273 547. This advert is FDA approved.
Na ede na ya obayi a oda formason ya funu emunumuni.
Oh, Mr. Entry, also ya reya titi be benfie pi nanso ne yam nyono da. Se me chew no ahodo amato a me hunu hwe a ebe ya nwanwa.
Menyi ni se what ulcer tamfo hexa capsules any hexa mixture ya no mbom kotia ulcer no bia ma no anom. Anka no ho ato no dadaada. Ulcer dro de eno ani hexa capsules any hexa mixture.
Ankom ni nchiremu.
Ulcer ye kura eto ye funu ene ensunumu. Etuma wo ye funu ekeka wa. Wogye wo ho a enyi. Ulcer etumi ema wo ye cheko ebra wadidi awie. So how eye ulcer de a compare hexa capsules any hexa mixture. Nanum bom na ho ebeto.
Pedudu etu a ko Okanshi Drug Lane, Kumasi Dani Herbal, Takradi AA Mensa, Anafre 020-3822-855. Apefo, abatan ya wama won mofra no fo, ene mofra woni mfie du mienu enka ho.
Ulcer capsules and in a mixture.
Ulcer time for FDA aje edwadi enkrato yi atom.
Akwaba ofa yenga drusu no eye sikasem ne godi amanebo enti nana jo akwachiwa abetina sinana memo akwaba so mayane yanko
Yeramu ewo ejodie ene sikadwa emu ensemu a aban we ani so ade hunu baako ene se ema wo mu edidwa ene ma wo yeku adwuma ene eba ne mfidi nwuma ho nsem a wonjodie ho nsankaye ebedi mu yenti no eye Women's Development Bank aban ne shebo no nam so ama Bank of Ghana abekasa de nsama to jase sa aban no tiri mu po se obebie eye Women's Development Bank ebe mu ebeboa yepa ama ema ohaw ahodo a wo mu famu se wo pebosia every banks ahodo wo e de awura wondwadie mu asa ohaw ni nyina no etuo atimi etwa na first deputy governor eye Dr. Zakaria Mumuni na wakasa ewo 2025 African Financial Inclusion eye policy initiative ase eno ade sa enchiremu wei etudwa.
We are also committed to gender inclusive finance. In 2023, Ghana joined the African Development Bank's AFAWA initiative, supporting financial institutions to unlock credit for women entrepreneurs through risk-sharing instruments and technical assistance. Even more, under the leadership of His Excellency President John Dramani Mahama, Ghana is establishing a Women's Development Bank with a seed capital of over 51 million Ghana cedis allocated in the 2025 budget. This institution will directly address the persistent credit gap faced by women-led businesses, particularly in agriculture, trade, and in the tech areas. These initiatives reflect our belief that women's financial inclusion is not a social obligation, but a smart economic strategy.
Now, she's a first deputy governor of Bank of Ghana, Dr. Zakaria Mumuni, and Wadin Chemuwe Atujanina, F Women's Development Bank, Buabe Buame Mas, Womo Pabusia, Edia Rawun Jedimu, Ewa, my Ghana Muhanum say, Musen Kayano, Bibia Ebetimi Adeda na Kwemu. Na Yadiani Etremu, Ewa Tema, Oil Refinery, Womo Australia, na management, na Wachi Womo Equopiemu, Ewa, Mrashebe Jeffy Committee, Womo, and a Womo, Ewa Energy Committee, no so. Anyone equator to adria koyo be first watama oil refinery ho senkaye ebetimi asan agina ne nai so nanu mo na eye acting eye CEO a woda asuye ano eye Mr. Edmond eye combat wo kirem se asuye honom abra wo mo ebe wura honom na chese eketwitwiri die eye 517 million American dollar no ne ka sesei amene wom na wo kirechire mu nie ntia ekofa sa eka wei ede ebaye.
Debt that we came to meet, which is undergoing verification, was $517 million United States dollars as at close of December 2024. We are doing that verification, and as I mentioned, once we do that verification and authentication of what we have been able to bring down, that will be communicated publicly. So what occasion it was trade receivable, trade debts, sometimes third parties, and then there were also debts that legacy debts where crude was supplied, it was not paid. There were times that the Ministry of Finance in the past had given some funds to toll. Some of it, for example, was grants, and then when they entered into the IMF asked them to reclassify it as debt. So those things have accumulated to that amount of money, and I think the last time toll traded, there were some of the trade were not hedged. So there was a lot of exposure who led to a lot of debt ballooning. But we are here.
Now, just acting managing director wada Tama Oil Refinery ano Mr. Edmond Combat and wade enchemu ato eja na akra mede edwade mu nsam no ebesi ewo hanom sei
mo medase adwo kwa chiwa no de egwedi ni sikasem amane bono abreye no mangande sho obre na na sebre no aso ani sanje ha na yedi opremoto bre Kasiebo a na wiabre yedi beso mu ni nyinara ebesi amamu na ansana yebeko kra no eyi eya woda pansem a efri yenuabia Bawku inte Amanda o say happy birthday and come Francisca Sedo Akutu happy birthday and come Francisca Sedo Akutu ene wa woda no say obompa se onyankropon onhira ye papa onyankropon oma wapomoden oma ahoden oma onyinchare oma nanimonyam enhire ngwoso esanse ne wenye mfisha eduosia esong 67 years and happy birthday to you madam Francisca Sedo Akutu eyifri Amanda nchen nti yema happy birthday nyame onhira mangade se ha ne edi nsem nyina besi ene ewiabre ya kenkanfo Midindi Accra Kofi Dako mene
Akuya Krantema
Yada masima mumu niti niwe